Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Monday, Mafia Monday. Let's jump into our story. We're going scene by scene through all three books, starting with the first one, California Gangsters. This is the Los Angeles Syndicate trilogy, a trilogy that I wrote. So let's just jump into it. Our main character, Simon Castro, at the end of chapter 5, had met a very beautiful woman. So we're starting chapter 6. This is the beginning of chapter 6. So let's just jump into it. I got Mr. Snubby. Come on. Let's get into some mafia stories. Chapter 6, A Rising Star. Vinny, he finally called me with Jennifer Wilson's personal information like he promised. And even though it was only a week after the party, it felt like 6 months. I wondered if she would even remember me. I was too chicken shit to call her right away and didn't even know what to say even if I did. I was usually very confident with women. But the thought of Jennifer turned me into a complete sucker. I had her address and figured, well, maybe I could run into her by accident. So, like any good stalker would do, I would regularly go down to the grocery store over near her apartment in Hollywood. I figured that it would be easier to ask her out if we randomly just ran into each other one day. Unfortunately, the day I saw her shopping, she didn't seem very happy to see me. She waved, giving a fake smile, like she would to any platonic acquaintance, and then awkwardly scurried out of the store into the parking lot. That same evening, I was feeling sorry for myself. I got high off some weed that I bought and drunk off a bottle of Big O's whiskey, alone in my apartment. For some stupid reason that I'll never understand, I wrote Jennifer a love letter that night. The next day, I almost had a heart attack when I realized what I had done. As soon as I woke up, I ran down to the mailbox that sat out front on the curb and tried to pry the little door open enough to get my arm down the slot. As I cursed into the slot, the old lady on the first floor who lived by the elevators, she came outside, standing on the front steps, and watched my folly. I struggled like a fool, wearing nothing but my boxer shorts, trying to get my hand on any piece of mail that I could. I kept saying to myself, please, God, no, no. She finally said in between puffs off her long, thin cigarette, you're wasting your energy. He came already, and your love letter is long gone. You were so wasted last night, I bet you don't even remember talking to me, do you? I looked up at the old woman who was wearing a long, thin nightgown. I released the mailbox from my clutches and noticed I was only in my boxer shorts. I replied to the woman, fuck, he came already? Oh no. Damn it. I'm so fucking stupid sometimes. Well, that's it. I blew it. The old lady took a drag off her cigarette and coughed and laughed at the same time, and then said, men are always drunk and horny when they write to us. You men, you're all the same. You're all stupid. If you didn't have a penis, us women would have got done away with you dummies thousands of years ago. I replied, I don't remember talking to you. Did I show you the letter? Damn it, I was so drunk. She laughed and said, you were singing a song at the top of your lungs as you were shoving the letter into the mailbox. I came out to see who it was. You desperately wanted my opinion and read your letter from memory. I shook my head and replied, well, I just ruined my fucking life. I don't know what I'm going to do now. The old lady began to cough in what looked like a painful fit. She finally regained her composure and turned towards the entrance to return to her apartment. Before she went back inside, she looked back and said, that's not the end of the world. Cheer up. Look at it this way. You dodged a bullet. She was probably nothing but trouble. Stay away from those Hollywood girls. Go find yourself a nice girl from some other town. Some girl who doesn't have daddy issues. I felt so stupid. I stopped going across town to her grocery store and gave up on my attempts at courtship. But to my shock, Later that week, I bumped into Jennifer Wilson at my grocery store a block from my apartment. The second I saw her on the vegetable aisle, I figured that she was there to yell at me or something. I attempted to walk around her with the hopes of avoiding any sort of interaction. I felt so embarrassed about that letter and could only imagine the scolding she was preparing to hand me. But it was like she had a sixth sense or eyes in the back of her head. As I crept past the avocado stand, she quickly turned around like a cat who had caught a mouse and said, "Simon?" I stopped in my tracks like a deer in headlights, and I tried to play it cool. I replied, "Oh, hey there. What are you doing on this side of town?" She put her hands on her hips like a mother who had caught her child stealing from the cookie jar and said, "You've been stalking me at my grocery store, so I'm here to do the same thing to you." I smiled and replied, "You caught on to my game, I see. Look, Jennifer, I want to apologize for that letter that I sent you. I was really, really drunk." She reached into her back pocket, pulling out the very letter in question, and unfolded it slowly. Jennifer said, "This is by far the dumbest, the most juvenile, and the most horribly inappropriate bunch of psychobabble that I've ever read. But I know your heart was in the right place, and I had a good laugh. So did all my friends when I read it to them last night at the coffee shop. You're a real hit with my girlfriends. They talked me into coming here to find you today." I relaxed a little, happy that I didn't completely blow it with her. I replied, "So, I still have a chance?" Jennifer burst into laughter, causing a few shoppers to look over at us as we talked in the vegetable aisle, and she said, "Well, how do I know that you're not just another Hollywood playboy who's trying to turn me into a notch on his bedpost? There's a lot of those around here, you know." I replied, "Well, I don't have a bedpost. When we first met, you thought I was a gangster. Now you're accusing me of being a womanizer. Jesus Christ, woman. I can't catch a break with you. Will you go out with me or what?" She replied, "Okay, if I go out on one date with you, will you agree to stop sending me these stupid love letters?" I thought for a minute and said, "I don't know if I can promise that, but I'll try. I'll try to promise." She looked up and laughed with a twinkle in her eye. She said, "You're an idiot and a sweetheart. You obviously know my address somehow, so be there Friday at 7 p.m. to take me out on a date, and don't be late. I don't wait for men, they wait for me." I smiled wider than the Cheshire Cat and replied, "Oh, I won't be late." Until next Monday, thanks for watching.